The purpose of this recording is to review the job board used at the Seton Hall University Career Center called Navigator, and will show you how to search for jobs and internships. You'll find the Navigator job board in your Seton Hall University portal, also sometimes referred to as PirateNet. You'll see over here at the top there are different tabs on your portal. Go to the one that says Career Center and then look for the icon that says Navigator. Once you click on that, your single sign-on will bring you to your Navigator homepage, which will look like this. And you'll want to focus on the top left-hand corner, which will open up your Navigator bar. From there, you'll see a number of options. So, for example, you'll start with your homepage, or the one we're going to be talking about today, searching for jobs and internships. So you'll click on that, and you'll see a drop-down, and you'll go right to where it says Discover. Once you hit Discover, you'll get to the place where you'll start searching for positions. And a good place to start is over here on the right-hand side. You'll see the words Advanced Search. And we're going to click on that, and that's going to bring you to a number of options. The first option you should take a look at is position type. This is where you'll decide, am I looking for full-time employment or am I looking for internships? And you would click on one of these and then come over here and hit the Apply button, so your search will now include whatever options that you choose. Once you do that, I'm going to recommend the next one you go to over here is the job function. Now, job function is, you'll see there's a number of terms here. So there, for our purposes, I'm clicking on the function of finance. Now, a job function is basically a job type or a set of skills. If you look at it from a job description perspective, it's what you will be doing. So it could be photography, it could be writing, it could be public policy, journalism, scientific research, supply chain, categories and collections of skills that you'll be searching on. Things that you skills that you've acquired up to this point in your career and can actually demonstrate quickly in a job. So what we've done here is we've now applied one position type, which is internship, and one function type, finance. And you'll see that there's 161 results. If this is an area of interest to you, finance internships, you would go over here and hit Create Job Alert, and then the system will forward you any opportunities that fit that criteria. In that search, in those 161 positions that are possible, you'll see here's a sample of 3 positions that popped up, and you'll notice that they're all very different. For example, working for a company like Willis Towers, where they might want to hire people with more actuary or mathematical finance backgrounds, versus a Tiffany corporate finance job where they might be looking for a combination of accounting and finance skills, or a job in crypto exchanges where it might be more finance and technology. Now, another way to look at searching is up here. We have a search bar, and you'll see I eliminated the job function, and I just typed in finance intern. So I got rid of everything and just looked for the terms finance intern and hit enter. And you'll see the number of jobs is a lot higher, 708. And the first job that pops up, you will notice, is not a finance position. It's an outreach position at a company called Act Now Foundation. Why did that happen? Well, a search bar is going to be less precise. In that it's going to pick up inside of the job description. If the word finance and the word intern is used in some capacity, it will draw upon those positions. So you may find that you'll get a lot more hits by using the search bar, but you may also find that if you stick with the position type and job function, you'll probably get more precision in what you specifically are looking for. And again, job function could be anything. It could be journalism, writing skills, the things that I mentioned a few moments ago. Now, I want to pause for 1 second and say the next search item I want to mention is the industry function. Now, generally speaking, there are forums for networking that are specifically to go learn about different things inside industries. So, for example, media, sports, marketing, that's a category of industries where companies will come that specialize in, say, sports or media or finance, the financial services world or the law world, and there's many other worlds. There's science, there's nursing, there's medical, healthcare, whatever. Just go through the nonprofit. So many different choices. But going to these events could be very valuable, because while you're networking at industry events, you'll notice that there's multiple functions. So a sports company, for example, will need accounting people, photography people, social media people, public relations people, et cetera, et cetera. So these are extremely valuable, and these are just samples of 1 month at Seton Hall, a couple of forums that are occurring. However, when you're looking at job search on job boards, you would look at it from a different perspective. So, for example, here, you'll notice underneath industry, it gets very specific. So just we clicked on the finance function before, but finance industry could be finance banking, exclusively asset management, or just brokerage, or just commercial banking, or just consumer and retail, or just corporate finance. So when you start to search on industry, you'll notice that you're limiting your searches. And if this is something that you just know or want to explore, so for example, if you wanted to search on healthcare and see what jobs pop up from an industry perspective, that would be fine. You can take a look at it, but you'll be narrowing it down, because it's not talking about the job anymore. It's talking about a specific facet within an industry. So you might have noticed before we had 161 positions open in the job function of finance with internships. Now I picked finance banking asset management, and you'll see that there are 17 results. So again, industry is going to bring you more of a narrow search, and it probably is beneficial as you're going through that to know what functional expertise is required in industries. And again, specifically, this is true for job boards and searching on job boards. So, and also if you want to parallel it to the finance function, you may have to click on all of these things. And even then, you may not get the same amount of jobs as you did if you just clicked on the finance function. This is a fine way to do it. It's certainly, if you're exploring a specific industry and you want to know the types of positions that we see, this is totally a fine way to do it. Just know that there is a difference in these terms. Industry, when we look at it, is where you will do your job. It's the environment. As you saw, it was the finance, banking, consumer banking or retail banking, or the asset management. It could be environment conservation specifically, or nonprofit historical preservation. So you see, these are far more narrow in scope. The function of information technology would bring any position that is looking for the skills of information technology, whereas in the industry, you will see specific, like technology, network administration, or e-commerce, or whatever is going to pop up. So just keep in mind there's a big difference between those two search functions. Sort of as a last thing, there are some words that you can use as either a function or an industry. For example, on the left-hand side, I'm looking for real estate internships, and in this case, I clicked on position type, intern, and job function real estate, and you'll see that I got 7 hits. When I switched it to industry real estate, it was 1 hit. So you'll see it's dramatically smaller. I did the same thing for supply chain. When I went to function, there were 12 results. When I went to industry, there were 3 results. So again, you can use any of these approaches. Know that they're for different purposes, and you just choose whichever best fits your needs at the time. I do recommend that you spend some time with us over in the Career Center to kind of sort all of this through. Over here you can see our contact information over on the left-hand side, our phone number, our office hours. This site that I'm showing you right now is actually a resource offered by the Seton Hall Library. You can see at the top the URL is library.shu.edu/careers, and you'll see this site will give you updates on any events and workshops that are offered by the Career Center. There's a wonderful page that just talks about career exploration. There's a lot of great videos about various functions and what is offered, advice from people who are working inside the field. There are recordings specifically for people in career transition. There's great information about resumes, about interview preparation, graduate school preparation, and a lot of good information like we just discussed here around internships and job search. So thank you for your attention, and I hope this was a useful recording.